New York Knicks, Jalen Brunson agreed to a 4-year, $156.5 million extension on July 12th. Left $113 million on the table. To talk more about it as Summer League action continues, Bobby Marks, front office insider, joining Sarah Kustok and I. Bobby, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
We just showed the Jalen Brunson contract. What was your reaction when you found out?
Well, you must have insight into my next article. Because my next article, and certainly there were a lot of agents that were not happy with the extension. And their question is, did that set a precedent for all-star level players to take less money with their next contract under these new collective bargaining agreement in order to build out a roster? I think the Brunson situation is certainly unique, where he is taking less money for New York to continue building a championship roster, and it'll have consequences on Mikal Bridges, who's extension eligible, certainly in the near future here. The big question will be what happens with Julius Randle. He's extension eligible come October 3rd, but yeah, he gave up a lot of money, and I think the goal is certainly he can earn it back down in the future here. But the goal for Brunson and this Knicks team is to continue adding to this roster.
There's obviously been a lot of talk with, we hear this, you try to explain it to us. I don't know if we ever understand the first apron, the second apron, what teams are up against in trying to really construct their contracts. And how much do you think that will continue to affect some of these players? You mentioned it, but affect how they view contracts, how they view not only the money that they want and in many cases deserve, but also what that will mean for building the roster around them.
Yeah, I think there's certainly situations like New York where most of their draft picks have gone to Brooklyn now and the inability to kind of add outside of their own roster. That's what the apron rules do. They limit as far as how you can add in free agency, how you can add in a trade here, basically kind of building within your own roster here. So we're going into year 2 of it. There's still a lot to be seen as far as where these apron rules are. The benefit is that we're going to get a nice infusion of new TV money that's going to come in here. As the cap grows, so does the apron levels grow. So there is going to be more flexibility going in the near future.
You understand why agents will be a little disappointed in the Jalen Brunson thing. Do you think it is an overreaction that this could be a trend moving forward?
I think it's an overreaction. I think certainly where Brunson could have earned an extra $113 million. But the beauty with Jalen is that he's still in the prime of his career. So 3 years from now, he'll be able to recoup probably all of that money and then some here. So I think it will be the next player. If the next player does take that same approach, then we might be seeing maybe 3 or 4 more players here. But hey, listen, Jason Tatum still signed for 5 years, $314 million in Boston, and I know LeBron gave a little bit less back, but Paul George still signed for $212. So I think we've hit $5 billion in salaries total for this overall for this upcoming season. That's the most we've ever seen here.
What do you think about a lot of these young players, too, when we talk about how that may change the perspective of teams and what they're looking for? How does that affect some of the guys here at Summer League or some of the younger guys, some of these rookies and second-year players and what that looks like for them?
Everybody loves inexpensive contracts. That's what – I mean, I'm watching Tyler Kolek right now. I mean, listen, this is Summer League, and I'm thinking, man, where does he fit in with this Knicks team, and certainly a deep team when you add – certainly, with Jalen and Deuce McBride and certainly Josh Hart and Dante DiVincenzo. But when you look at a player like Kolek, second-round pick, you might see him more with the big club compared to their first-round pick, Dadier, who's probably going to be in Westchester here. But inexpensive contract, second-round pick exception, players that are on rookie-scale contracts, you have them at least for the next 3 or 4 years.
And looking at Detroit, how do you see this group? Cade Cunningham getting his money. They add some veterans in the mix with this young squad. They did have the worst record in the association a season ago.
Remarkably better. I like what they did with Malik Beasley, Tobias Harris. They brought back Simone Fontecchio. Shooting to surround Cade. Certainly J.B. Bickerstaff has been through this before in Cleveland, taking over a young roster here. So I'm expecting them to be better. I think they have somewhat of a little bit more of an identity than maybe they did a year before.
We were talking to you yesterday as Kolek right on cue off the window for 2. Tyler Kolek getting his first field goal to go with his 5 assists. We were talking to you yesterday off air about your sports business classroom and how
Bobby
busy
wouldn't let me
you've been
register.
with that.
I was like, hold on a second.
I've got so many complaints from people
I
who
need
wanted
to
to help
come
out. I didn't realize so many people wanted to help
I don't
out.
want to help out. Bobby.
I wanna
I
learn.
need the help. I need the help.
Well, we had 138
Look at
students
this.
that signed up for this past week. It's certainly student sessions where we're teaching the salary cap, we're teaching about the apron, media, broadcasting, scouting, analytics, video. We had a mock trade deadline this morning for 4 hours. It will wrap up tomorrow where they do their presentations and everything. The media and broadcasting got hands-on experience this morning where we had them interview the executives of the teams that were represented in these mock trade deadlines. I mean, if you made a trade, you would go over to our group there, and they would interview you live on camera, just to kind of give you hands-on experience here. So it's been a terrific week as far as just providing resources for the next generation of executives or people who want to get into the field we're in right now.
How
We're
many
not
hours
kidding.
are
We
in
need
your
to be-
day?
Oh my goodness, Sarah, I'll tell
How
you.
many hours are in your day if you're
Let's
also
just
running
say I wasn't feeling good last night. I was at dinner. I was very uncomfortable as far as I just wanted to kind of get under the covers and go to bed.
No, we need to be a part of this next year.
Yeah, you got it.
We want to learn. We all need to learn.
Maybe we just become so big we have satellite. Maybe we go to Brooklyn. We'll go to Minnesota. We'll go to All-Star Weekend. We'll hit all different cities here.
All of it. You say it, and we're in, Bobby.
Bobby Marks, front office insider, kind enough to join us. And Bobby, want to thank you so much for your time. It's always good seeing you. And again, keep us in mind next year.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me.
And keep us aligned to your text because I feel like we'll have lots of questions.
Hopefully August there'll be no text, there'll be no apron levels. Will be a nice quiet August.
I doubt it, but I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Wanna try to boast at what I look like. Think I'm gonna try to wear, pull up all brains. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. It's NBA over here, feeling fun.